Hi, I'm Dr. Carol Scott, a trauma-informed developmental psychologist who helps you find your SASS, self-aware success strategies that are a birthright from your earliest development. Your SASS brings you more success in all your relationships and all your interactions at home, at work, and in the wider world. This video is about those moments when you find yourself triggered, when your feelings are reactive, out of your control. When a full-on argumentative battle or tearful meltdown is about to burst forth, when you are on the verge of running from the room, or when the next words out of your mouth will be ones you'll regret, this video is for you. Let me start with that word triggered. It's fast becoming an almost meaningless buzzword. It seems everybody is getting triggered all the time about something and blaming someone else for triggering them. According to the website Workplace Strategies for Mental Health, triggers are automatic responses to a specific stimulus. Triggers can be in response to the behavior of other people, places, or things, as well as smells, specific words, or even colors. The first, a stimulus from the outside, words, facial expression, smell, etc., connects to your thoughts and memories. That is, you mentally connect an experience from your history to the current stimulus. That mental connection leads to responses in your body, such as a tightened throat, a locked jaw, a roiling gut. These body feelings are your emotions before you give them a label. Then, out of those feelings, you mentally label your emotion and react with behavior. You shout in anger, you melt in a puddle of tears, you go stonily silent and refuse eye contact or stomp out of the room, slamming the door. Hardest to recognize as a triggered reaction is when you start fawning over the other person, making yourself submissive like a puppy with its belly up and its jugular exposed. So just a note here to say that what is not a trigger is real-time emotional responses to something that doesn't begin with this connection to the past. Feeling an emotional response doesn't qualify as a trigger. Triggers are, again, an automatic response launched by the very most primitive part of your brain. You are out of choice suddenly and unaware until later, if ever, about what caused your apparently instant reaction. So what can you do about something that is so automatic, a result of a process hidden from your view? Well, my 5 tips for coping with triggers begin with 3 preventive strategies to prepare you before a triggering moment is upon you. You employ these first 3 tips before you are in a situation to be triggered, to prepare your ability to maintain the power of choice. My final 2 tips are about what to do in that moment a stimulus trips your memory trigger. So, tip number 1 is to increase your understanding of this automatic reactive process as you are doing right now by watching this video. Knowledge about what happens and the fact that this kind of reactivity is human and predictable helps you be able to respond rather than react. Gaining a little awareness of some basic brain science is a game changer. So in simple terms, the part of your brain that gets triggered is not the part of your brain that thinks logically. In fact, once your brain starts yelling, fight, flee, freeze, or fawn, flatter, in your inner ear, your cognitive thinking processes are already beginning to go offline. The ability for rational thought is very soon lost and remains on hold until you realize that the threat perceived by the base of your brain is not in fact a real and current threat. A trigger gives you only those 4 automatic options: start a fight, run away, go still and silent, or start flattering or fawning all over the person you're reacting to. Your logical mind is not engaged. Literally, you cannot think. If you're able to say in the moment, hey, this XYZ is triggering me, then it isn't true. You're simply feeling an emotion. Simply. But tip number 2 then follows this new or clarified knowledge about this normal process in us humans. The next step is to expand your self-awareness of, here it comes. Very often, before your full-blown threat reaction, your body signals that you are sensing you are under threat. Now, these signals differ for each one of us, but often include contracted muscles, a lurch in the digestive system, faster and more shallow breathing, or a sudden increase or decrease in moisture. Dry mouth, sweating palms, or a welling up of tears are all common. Some of us even experience dizziness, tunnel vision, and a feeling that we're about to pass out. To gain awareness of your unique pattern, you may have to at first backtrack after a triggered episode. Take some time to rewind your mental movie of what happened and reflect. Ask yourself, what did I feel in my body just before I exploded or ran away? The physical response of your body is your first set of clues that you are about to fall and lose control. So learn your signals. Tip number 3 asks you then to make friends with those parts of you that wave those red flags after a stimulus triggers you, but before your behavioral reaction. Far too many of us have learned to ignore the signals of our bodies. We trust our brains to guide us, forgetting or denying that brain and body are really one entity. I mean, did you know that you have neurochemical receptors on cells all over your body, including in your intestines? Your nerves reach every single part of your body, carrying their chemical and electrical signals to all your organs. And every other part of your body has been set up to receive those signals. So to make friends with your system's red flag wavers, start paying more attention to your body. Yoga or other gentle stretching and meditation that focuses on your breath are great practices to quiet your always talking monkey mind. Anything works that drops you out of intellectual analysis and into the signals from your body. The point is to learn to listen with compassion to the language of those tired, tight, terrified places in your muscles, lungs, heart, gut. Now for the final 2 tips. These are actions you can take in any moment you are triggered if you have worked with the first 3 tips and prepared yourself well. Tip number 4 is useful whenever you feel those first warning signs in your body, the physical red flags. Uh-oh, you say, I just clenched my jaw. Oh, my heart is racing. Wow, I'm suddenly feeling sick to my stomach. As soon as you notice these signals of emotions rising in your body, your best strategy in that moment is to quickly reclaim your thinking brain before it goes fully offline. One way to immediately calm is to breathe. My favorite technique is to draw long, slow inhales that expand the diaphragm fully all the way around the torso, and then follow each full inhale with a longer, slower exhale through a tiny mouth opening as if through a straw, like this. Now, this change in your breathing doesn't have to be made that visible to others. It can be done subtly. And if you can, it's also helpful to shift your physical stance. Stand if you're sitting, or just take a step back or to the side. Feel a stable foundation with your feet solid on the ground, shoulder width apart. Give your body equilibrium as you take 4 of those breaths in and out. With some people in your life, you may want to prearrange a signal like raising your hand palm outward to indicate you're pausing to re-regulate. Other strategies can help you in a moment when your body is giving you that uh-oh, here it comes message. Just as each of us has different signals that we're about to go off the rails, we have different preferred strategies for getting ourselves back on track. Some find that shaking out their hands, rubbing their jaw joint or temples, or simply releasing clenched fists or buttocks does the trick. Find what works best for you. The tip number 5 is to be authentic in the moment as much as you can and take ownership of what is happening. This strategy can be a challenge in a workplace or other professional setting, and with practice, you can even do it there. With friends, family, and even some casual acquaintances, some version of the following is what you want to rehearse as your next step. I apologize for what may have seemed a charged moment there. I felt an emotional reaction rising in me when you said or did XYZ. But my emotions were not about you or what you said or did. Or you might say something like, I apologize. I realized I was about to react out of context from the past. I briefly lost my connection to you in this moment, but I'm back and I'm ready to continue our conversation. You may or may not feel comfortable sharing the memory invoked by the stimulus of words, actions, smells, or whatever it was. Your choice, for your personal comfort and sense of safety, is fine. Just keep any sharing within the limits of the emotional intimacy you have built with the other person. In a more formal relationship, you may not need to explain or apologize, and do be aware that the other person has likely experienced the energy of your rising emotions. Often, some statement of reconnection is helpful. One example is, "I apologize, but I was distracted for just a moment. Please tell me again what you were just saying." If you want to have fewer arguments, fewer uncontrolled outbursts of tears, and more emotional stability in general, these are my 5 SASSy tips for calming your reactivity to triggers. To summarize, the self-aware success strategies, your SASS, encourages you to 1. Build a greater understanding of how your nervous system works. If you watched this video all the way to here, you just completed one lesson. 2. Expand your awareness of your body's emotional signals that you feel under attack. 3. Find more comfort with and compassion for those parts of your body that are forever poised to perceive threat, and allow them to fully relax sometimes. Listen to what they are telling you and thank them. Give them some love as helpful teachers. 4. Increase your ability to tune in to your body's emotions in the moment, rather than in hindsight the next day or months later. And 5. Be authentic and take ownership of your triggered reaction. It's usually not anyone's fault, and neither of you is to blame for it. I'm very much looking forward to your thoughts about these SASSy tips and hope you'll drop a comment below. If you seek a deeper discussion, join one of my SASSy Sunday salons. Offered at noon Pacific time on the second Sunday of each month, this small group dialogue is inclusive, compassionate, and transformative for those who join, as well as free of charge. The link to register is below. And in the meantime, let's all get out there and be more SASSy.